Companies are pouring billions of dollars into AI, not because it's impressive. They are doing it because of one number almost nobody talks about: 0.4%. That's how fast the American workforce is growing this decade. Every day, more than 11,000 Americans retire, and many of the workers meant to replace them were simply never born. I spent 18 plus years across tech and consulting, most of it building AI ML systems across companies like Meta, eBay, and Twitter. When big companies decide to automate, the room is not talking about the hype. In fact, they're talking about the real numbers. So, in the next 10 minutes, we are going to look at three numbers which describe the entire AI boom, including a report from 2018, which kind of predicted most of what is happening right now. So, we're going to take its predictions one by one and compare it against what actually happened. If you are new to the channel, my name is Abhishek Agarwal, and I help business owners put AI to work. There are two conversations about AI which are happening right now. The first one is loud, and you see it every day. The second one is quiet. It happens in a CFO's office. You could imagine a worksheet or a spreadsheet with two lines: the cost of labor, which is going up, and the supply of labor, which is going down. Here's the thing: the loud conversation gets the views, the quiet one moves the money. This video is about the quiet one. For 70 years, the economy grew on an escalator of new workers. Look at the 70s. The workforce grew over 2.5% per year. The 80s were still strong, and the 90s you could see a slowing trend. In 2000s, it further slowed down, and in 2010s, 0.4%. And this decade, 0.4% once again. So the escalator has kind of stopped. These are not my numbers, they are actually from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You can find the link to this report in the description. So where did all that growth come from? It's three places. One, the baby boomers who entered the workforce. Two, women who joined the workforce at scale. And you can see that the participation nearly doubled. Three, globalization. China and India added hundreds of millions of workers to the world economy. So here's what matters about all these three. They were one-time events. These events happened, and these do not repeat. And now the boomers who entered in phase one are retiring in phase three. This is the Bureau of Labor Statistics report on screen. Their official projection through 2033. The labor force is projected to grow 0.4% annually. That's the government's own numbers, same as the chart you just saw. And it's not abstract. Here's what it looks like in people. This is from the Alliance for Lifetime Income. They call it Peak 65. A record 4.18 million Americans turned 65 in 2025, the most ever in a single year. That's 11,400 people every single day. And the wave runs through 2027. Nobody unretires a generation. This is not a business cycle. It doesn't bounce back. Here's the whole economy in one equation. Growth equals workers times output per worker. That's it. There is no third ingredient here. Now here's the number. From 1950 to 2015, roughly half of all the US output growth came from just adding workers. Half of everything, what you saw in the chart. So if you remove the workers from the ingredient, what's left of it is just the output per worker. That means you need to have more output per worker, which in other words means higher productivity. And right now that means AI. So AI investment is not optional enthusiasm. It's the only lever left on half the equation. Everything I just showed comes from this Bain & Company's report for Labor 2030, published in February 2018, even before ChatGPT existed, before all the hype had anything to feed on. Read the subtitle: Demographics, Automation, Inequality. Not a word about chatbots. This is not a hype document, it's a demographics document, which makes it testable. So let's test it then. Prediction 1, which the report actually predicted. It says US labor force growth would slow down to 0.4% per year. What actually happened? The government's own numbers matched it almost exactly. Prediction 2, it said persistent worker shortages. As of May 2026, 7.6 million open jobs in America still, years after hiring frenzy supposedly ended. Prediction 3, it's a massive wave of investment in automation. You are actually living inside that one right now. When a demographics forecast keeps coming true, the money riding on it is not a fad. The fuel is not excitement, it's actual arithmetic. Don't take my word on 2026 either. This is the latest government jobs report, which you can see on the screen. 7.6 million open jobs in May. And this is Indeed's research team 2 months ago. Their words: a shrinking workforce, AI, and labor reallocation will define the next 15 years. The hiring platform itself says the worker shortage is the story. Both links are in the description, you can check it out. One more number from 2018 report. Bain estimated the US would need roughly $8 trillion of extra investment in the 2020s in order to automate its way around the missing workers. Think about what that number means. That is not a cool demo budget. That is a we cannot staff the next decade budget. The same report predicts serious job displacement. That's real. It's a bigger story than one slide. And that $8 trillion number gets quoted a lot. Don't take it on faith. The full report is linked in the description. You can check it out yourself. Now, the part I can add from experience: 18 plus years at Meta, eBay, Twitter. Every big automation system I worked on existed for one reason: the workload grew faster than any hiring plan could. Billions of decisions per day. No version of just add people survives that math. Big tech automated first because it hit the wall first, not because it loves robots. Your business is now hitting a smaller version of the small wall. Work is growing and applicant pool is shrinking. So what do you do with this? Most business owners ask the wrong question. Is AI good enough yet? That question makes you wait for a perfect moment that never announces itself. So here's a better question to ask. What does my labor supply look like in 5 years? Harder to fill roles, longer time to hire. You've already felt it. Now you know it's structural. It's not temporary. So this week, do one thing. List 3 roles that you would struggle to most rehire for. That list is not a demo reel. It's actually the area where AI belongs first in your business. You can also look at my last video, which is linked below. Lastly, here's one thing to take home. Don't adopt AI because it's exciting to adopt. Adopt it because the math says your next hire may not exist. If you want the one-page cheat sheet, all 3 numbers, the scorecard, and the links, it's the first link in the description. Every article I showed you on the screen today, Bain and the BLS, the jobs data, Indeed, everything is linked in the description. Check them yourself. And if you want AI explained with real math instead of hype, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.